Hey guys, what's up? I'm here in New York, and me and Dr. Alicia just came across something that I thought could really benefit a lot of you. It's called Middle Age Misery, and we're actually reading about it. And there she is over there, and she's looking all beautiful and happy and stuff. And we're in New York for a couple of days, but I had to share this with you. And basically, what it refers to is what they call the U-bend of life, which is that your happiness starts off really high, it drops middle age. In fact, the least happy you ever are, actually, they say, is the age of 46, and then on average it goes up in older life. And let me have her read this to you to explain how this works, and then I'll give you my quick interpretation on it. Go ahead, babe.
I said middle age misery was due to the overwhelming number of familial, professional, and financial demands during these years, and that people became more self-accepting, less ambitious, and more mindful of living in the present moment instead of the future as people approach their 70s.
Yeah, so, I understood that instantly. I instantly got that because remember just yesterday I was telling you that one of my keys to happiness and sanity and balance in the chaotic shit that I live in is I compartmentalize everything in my life. Like, I'm always doing everything I can to be right there in that moment. Because when you're, what happens is when you let your mind operate across space and time, where you're thinking not just about the current moment, you're trying to process that along with processing the future and the past and all that, and you're processing not just where you are, but you're processing everything that's happening everywhere all the time. It can become overwhelming, right? So you think about it, middle-aged people, in your 40s, you get to the point where you're ambitious, you're working your ass off, you're trying to hold it together with your family, you got all this pressure coming out, like, oh my gosh, I gotta become the vice president of this, I gotta pay the mortgage, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And I can see it becoming very overwhelming for people. And the expectations are like super high. Expectations that you put on yourself, expectations other people put on you. You're providing for all these people, got all these responsibilities. So it almost seems like when you get older, you kind of just chill out. You're like, I am who I am. I ain't trying to become anything different. I'm happy with that.
Well, the demands are different, especially with your family. So what happens, especially with a lot of women in that age, is that you're responsible for the primary caregiver of children, but you're also responsible for the caregiving of your elderly adult or your parents who are growing in age. So it's called the sandwich generation, where a lot of women in particular have to care for their parents who are getting older, and they also have to care for their children who are getting older. And it can put stress on finances, put stress on your immediate family. It's a very stressful time, and so when you get older, your kids get older, and your parents die off, unfortunately, but you're still dealing with that. And then your children get old, so it's less demands on you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, because you're talking about caring for people and providing for them. And I know I've known that pressure of having people behind you and ahead of you.
And you can't spread yourself too thin. We talked about that too. It's just like limiting, just saying no. I have to practice saying no. You know what I mean? I have to stop caring what people think about me.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I have a friend like that who's in her 40s, and she's depressed as hell because she's always saving everybody and solving everybody's problems.
It's depressing.
Just carrying all this weight, and you're right. It's almost like you get older and you say, okay, the food's here.
Scrambled with bacon grits. This is your
Hold on, food's
This is your egg.
All right.
Relax. Enjoy, guys. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you. I had a strawberry on top of the
Strawberry,
first
yeah,
one.
give it a
Okay, thank you. So yeah, that's our breakfast for today. So we about to make this real quick. But I think, what I've got from that is a good way to take the pressure off is, number one, learning how to say no, like you said, not feeling like you got to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Number two, I think really compartmentalizing, living in the moment, it really helps. I know it helps me a lot because I got a million things happening. I got a million people that I'm having to worry about and think about and deal with, and people that like me, don't like me, work with me, don't want to work, whatever. Like, and I find that just shutting that down and focusing on who I'm talking to right at that moment helps me to not carry that pressure around. Also, I don't worry about the future so much. I plan for it, but I don't stress out about it. I don't stress out about the past. I try to live in the present and appreciate the present. And what it does is it's like eating an elephant one bite at a time. Thank you. Where you're not overwhelmed by the size of the elephant. You're just focused on the next bite. And so you just realize, like, if I just keep taking bites, eventually I'll eat, most of the elephant. Maybe I won't eat it all, but who gives a fuck, Like,
Yeah, but there's certain, I mean, that's good to do, but there's certain time constraints. There's certain things, like no matter what I have to do, I got to stop working and deal with the children, or stop working and cook dinner.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I have all of these competing things and competing deadlines. And you got a lot of deadlines you got to do too. Like there's things on your voice, we got to get this done today. I mean, I know you're under a lot of stress and pressure and all of that.
Well, I'll say this too.
You're highly ambitious people.
Right. Well, that's true. But I've had people make fun of me and call me a commitment phobe in my personal and professional life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but because I don't make commitments unless I really think them through. If I'm not sure I can fulfill a commitment, I will not make that promise to you, because I don't want the weight of me having to give you something by a certain day. Just because I just said, because a lot of people will do that. They'll commit to everything, and then they can't fulfill all those commitments.
So hard to say no. And you don't want to disappoint people. You want people to accept you. You want to please everybody. I know I had to get out of that. I worried about what people would think, and it was so crippling. And then, you get in your 40s, and you have this midlife crisis, which is necessary. My midlife crisis was great, And you come out of it, and you're just like, I'm confident in who I am. I don't apologize for who I am. And you either love me or you don't. And I will, not that I don't care, but I'm just being myself.
I think that is a big deal. Like, just accept it. So it seems
Love
like,
myself.
and what I read, and I'll say this and I'll be done, but is that self-acceptance is huge.
It's huge.
If you accept yourself and you're happy with who you are, and you can be happy with what you have, then that helps a lot. Like stop. I mean, it's okay to want more and to aim for more, but don't feel like you're inadequate where you are or with what you've got or with who you are. Like think of it as like, okay, I am a good person. I am in a good place. I'm doing well, but I'd like to do better. And if you do better, then great. If you don't do better, then that's okay too. Because I've seen a lot of people stay unhappy for their whole life because they always feel that they're not going to be happy until they're doing better, money-wise or whatever. And it's like sometimes that day never comes.
Well, my big takeaway is to live in the moment. And my big takeaway is to cherish family and cherish the relationships that you do have. Cultivate that and just keep remembering what's important. That's the big takeaway.
Yeah, well, remember I was telling you yesterday how a lot of times the way I enjoy the present is I imagine myself in the future and then I come back. And it's like, or I imagine what would happen if you were able to go back to like 1995.
Yeah.
All the things that were important in 1995 wouldn't be important to you, but the things that weren't important to you would be really important to you. Like just watching your mother cook you breakfast in the morning would be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like whatever. And it's like, because a lot of times we forget, we don't know what's important when we're living the life. We're living in the moment, and we don't see how that's going to look 5-10 years from now.
I couldn't agree with you more. We get so myopic into what we're dealing with right now, and we know it's not even important. The things we worry about right now is so not important. It won't be important 10 years from now, so why should it be important now?
Absolutely. So there you go. There's life lessons. That's game for y'all. Anyway, we actually have a program in the Black Business School on how to optimize your life, how to set goals, how to overcome obstacles, how to manage your time, how to deal with haters, all of that. Feel free to check it out. The first month is free. It's blackkeystogreatness.com. That's blackkeystogreatness.com. Hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe, and all that. I'll see you guys soon. Be good. Peace.